Good morning all of you. Welcome to our course Soft Computing. Our today's topic of video is Introduction to Soft Computing. So in this video we are going to understand what exactly the soft computing is, what kind of problem you can solve by using soft computing, what is its importance in our life. So that thing we are going to understand in this particular video. So we'll start from a very basic, that is introduction to soft computing. So before try to understand the concept of soft computing, I will give simple example so that you also understand the concept of soft computing and hard computing, because soft computing and hard computing, these are the two terms that we use. So I can say that hard computing is used traditionally to solve various problem, but at that time there was a problem. Means traditionally hard computing is applied, but nowadays the complexity of problem is more, so we cannot use hard computing every time, so we need to use soft computing. So I will give simple example to illustrate this concept so that you will understand what exactly it is. So suppose somebody asks you whether Raju is honest or not. Okay, so in that case you can give answer in terms of yes, no. Yes, Raju is honest. You can say yes, Raju no, Raju is not honest. So you can provide answer. So hard computing is based on the concept of Boolean logic. In case of Boolean logic, you always have two possibilities: yes, no, true, false, or zeros and ones. I ask you the simple question that whether Raju is honest or not. So you can provide answer with the help of Boolean logic. That means in terms of yes, or you can say no. Okay, this is what a simple problem that you can solve with the help of Boolean logic, and Boolean logic supports hard computing. Okay, now the question is changed. Suppose I ask you what is the speed of a fan. Can you able to give answer in terms of yes, no, true, false, or zeros and one? Can we use Boolean logic to answer this type of question? No, you cannot answer this question by using Boolean logic. That means you cannot use hard computing to answer that question. In order to give answer of that question, you need to make use of a soft computing, and soft computing will make use of a fuzzy logic and Boolean logic. So in case of Boolean logic, we have only two possibility, 0 and 1. Okay, either 0 or 1. But what about suppose I want the value between 0 and 1? So at that time you can make use of a fuzzy logic. Fuzzy means what? It is absurd, it is not fixed. Okay, so in that case you can make use of a fuzzy logic to answer that question. The speed of the fan is fast, because you cannot predict the speed of fan directly, just like it is 40, 50, 60 like this. So for that purpose, what you say, what is a more appropriate answer? The more appropriate answer is that the speed of the fan is fast. Okay, so that kind of problem you can solve by using soft computing. Soft computing help us to solve this problem where your answer is not exact, your answer is generalized, means your answer is in the specific range. At that type soft computing is useful. Now we try to understand the exact definition of a soft computing. Though soft computing can be explained in different ways, but we can see a few definition over here. It's a fusion of different constituent elements. So what are the different constituent elements of soft computing? There are three soft computing constituent elements are there. One is a artificial neural network, second one is a genetic algorithm, and third one is a fuzzy logic. So just we understand what is fuzzy logic. Fuzzy logic is based on what? Probability. Okay, genetic algorithm, Genetic algorithm is used for optimization purpose. Later on we understand all these three concepts in detail. Genetic algorithm is used for optimization purpose, whereas artificial neural network is based on the concept of human brain, which is used for in order to produce a decision, in order to take appropriate decision, in order to process the information. You can make use of artificial neural network. So soft computing, it's a fusion of this different constituent, and these different constituents are artificial neural network, genetic algorithm, and fuzzy logic, and it is used to solve real world problem. Nowadays it is observed that most of the problem have uncertain answer, means they didn't have exact answer. Okay, so it is used to solve real world problem which are not model or too complex for mathematical modeling. That means, what is the meaning of this? The problem which you cannot solve by using hard computing, that means by using Boolean logic, that kind of problem you can solve with the help of soft computing. Again, we can say that it's a collection of techniques which helps to construct computationally intelligent system. See, intelligence is very important. Though the meaning of intelligence may vary from person to person, but I can say that the particular entity, it may be human being or it may be a machine, suppose they can able to take appropriate decision at a appropriate time, then we can say that particular entity is intelligent one, and our aim is to embed that intelligence into the machine so that machine can behave just like a human being. And it is based on some biological methodologies, because we have seen that three main constituents of supercomputing are ANN, genetic algorithm, and fuzzy logic. So genetic algorithm is based on the concept of genetics. Actually, genetic algorithm is a concept that is based on Darwin's theory of survival of fittest. Okay, then again ant behavior is there, particle swarm optimization or particle swarm intelligence is there. These are also the concept which is used in case of optimization techniques, genetic algorithm. You may heard about ant colony optimization, you may heard about swarm intelligence. Swarm intelligence is a concept that we derive from the flock of birds flying in the sky, and how they what kind of pattern, how they form a pattern in the sky, how they follow each other. So based on this there is a concept of swarm intelligence. Then again human nervous system, because NN is based on the concept of human brain, so we can say that soft computing is based on the concept of biological methodologies, because in this case we try to resemble human being with a machine. We try to embed human intelligence into the machine. So in our daily life, maximum problem have uncertainty. Okay, maximum problem have uncertainty. Just as I ask you question, what is the speed of the fan? Similarly, I can ask, what is today's temperature? What is today's temperature? Okay, what is the speed of that particular we can say car? Speed of car, speed of fan, what is the temperature of the AC? Okay, so that kind of problems are there which didn't have certain answer, they have uncertainty. So hard computing is failed to solve this problem. We have just seen Boolean hard computing make use of Boolean logic, and Boolean logic can give exact answer only. So soft computing is used to create a program which learn by its own from its experience. See, the learning ability is very important. In case of a machine learning, we try to give learning ability to the machine. What is machine learning? Machine learning is nothing but it's the ability of a machine to learn by its own. It's the ability of machine to learn by its own without any human intervention. That is important thing. Nowadays what we see that whatever the program that we feed into the machine, according to that that machine is behaving. But suppose any new situation arises, how that machine reacts to that situation, that is important, and that is based on the learning of the machine. Means human being learn by its own from its experience. There are various techniques of learning through which you learn. Similarly, we want that machine should learn by its own from its experience, various scenario, various circumstances. So that is also part of the soft computing. There you also use soft computing. The next one is importance. What is the importance of soft computing? Just we have seen soft computing is used to solve a problem where answer is not exact, where problem is uncertain. At that time you can make use of a soft computing. So soft computing is used to deal with uncertainty. Just I explained earlier, partial truth and approximation means you can provide answer approximately, you cannot provide answer exact. Role model for soft computing is human mind. Okay, just we have seen ANN is based on human brain, genetic algorithm is based on genetics. Okay, and fuzzy logic is based on approximateness, it is based on the probability. That's why we can say that role model for soft computing is human mind, because we are trying to resemble human brain into the machine. Soft computing is a partnership in which each of the partner contributes a distinct methodology for addressing problem in its domain. So this is what the importance of soft computing. Now next one is hard computing. Okay, initially I just given an example of hard computing, what kind of problem that we can solve by using hard computing, that I explained. Now here I explain more about hard computing. Hard computing is a conventional method, it's a traditional method which required precisely stated analytical model which is based on Boolean logic. Okay, then various analytical model are useful in many cases, but maximum are invalid in case of hesitant environment. Hesitant environment means what? Uncertain environment. In uncertain environment you cannot use hard computing to give answer of that question. At that time you have to make use of soft computing which is based on fuzzy logic. Ultimately it is based on probability. Means suppose we are giving the answer in terms of probability, then it is a specific answer, it's a good answer. Okay, it solves the problem by using mathematical model and collects data to get final output. Again, one more thing we observe, that in case of soft computing is useful where mathematical model is very difficult to build, because in case of hard computing building of mathematical model is very important and it is mandatory, but there are some problem where it's very difficult to build mathematical model for that problem. So in that case you can make use of a soft computing, and this hard computing is useful to solve problem where output is exact, just already we discussed. And example here, again another example that I mentioned over here, hard computing we can make we can use hard computing in case of depth first search as well as in the breadth first search. So here we understand hard computing. Again in case of hard computing we have seen three things. It has real-time constraints, you cannot use hard computing everywhere, okay, where the situation is uncertain. It need of accuracy in calculation and outcome, and finally you can say that it is useful in a critical system. So here we understand what is soft computing, what is the importance of soft computing, what kind of problem that you solve with the help of soft computing. In the some way we try to understand how soft computing is different from hard computing. So in the next video we are going to understand exact difference between soft computing and hard computing. Thank you.